Hello, my good friend. Today I'm joined here by my girlfriend to look at the video game Cook, Serve, Delicious.
Well,
Um, this is one of those games that I prefer to play perfectly. I don't consider it a a successful day unless I do it completely perfectly. So generally, I suck all the fun out of this game fairly quickly. But I figured it would be interesting to watch somebody do it perfect. Why do you find this so funny?
you just said you suck all the fun out of it.
Very true.
That's quite the intro.
Well, subscribe.
So, well, why do you have to play it perfectly? I don't understand. You've never said that before.
That's how I used to play every video game. Was completely perfectly.
Well, I know you said that. I know you said that before you did, and you've kind of loosened up a little bit about that.
Yeah.
But I just wondered why still with this game?
Um, they threw a balloon party at the end. You do it perfectly. But I've noticed the first time I did it perfectly, they threw a shit ton of balloons. Like red ones, yellow ones, blue ones. But now they just throw two. Like they're like, get over yourself.
Oh, I
It's like they lost the balloon budget or something. Because now anytime I do it, it's just a green balloon and a red balloon and some confetti.
Oh.
It barely feels like a celebration.
What's the difference? What's the difference from when you were playing it perfectly versus kind of just playing it?
Fun? What do you mean?
Were you not having fun before?
I was having fun before.
Oh, okay.
Playing it perfectly is extremely frustrating. It makes playing the game a chore.
Okay, so I'm not understanding. Could you explain to me what's happening here? People walking through, they're eating the food, and then they have to clean the toilet and take the trash out.
They don't do that.
Well, could you explain what's going on here?
Sure. So, as you saw before, I was working on my active menu.
Okay.
I can work up to 5 orders at once, and generally during rush hour, which is right now. Various stuff happens and more orders come. Sometimes there's a certification person that comes.
Yeah.
A cleanliness, whatever.
Right.
And they up the times for it. So all these little people, they come along towards the bottom, and each of them has an order that they want. They're only going to stand there for so long before they peace out.
Oh, I get it. So you have to serve them before they move along.
You have to
It's like an assembly line.
Yeah. But generally, if you've got some boosts, like I've got air conditioning and something else, like a peanut jar or something, they stay a little longer. So do you see this guy? He's just chilling.
Yeah.
And then this girl, she'll stop right here and just wait for her food. I believe they stop at the left to take the order, and then they go to the right to wait for it, see? Or who knows. But these are my chores that I'm doing.
Okay.
And you press the corresponding buttons over here for vanilla, chocolate, cherries, what have you. And depending on what buttons you hit, they get different orders. 2 vanilla scoops with a cherry. You can either hit VV on your keyboard to do 2 vanillas, or you can simply click the red button And it's a lot of fun, and you gotta look with normal salt, so that just means regular salt, and if they wanted sea salt. And that disgusting toilet.
I know, I wish they'd stop showing.
Yeah,
Like,
I
just show the.
upgraded it by the end.
Oh, you changed it?
Yeah, I upgraded it to
Yeah,
a
because
commercial toilet. But this is
what do
supposed.
we have? I wish we didn't have to see that. Like, we should just show the trash or dishes. Dishes is fun.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Not in real life.
it's trying to show you progressing, advancing.
Okay.
So you start off as this dive. The first place I had little cracks in it.
Okay.
And now I've got a diner set up. And the next one is going to be a fancier restaurant. And until you're a 5-star restaurant in this tall tower.
Did you get to pick the food?
So yeah, I pick what's on the menu.
Do you have a lot to pick from?
You have to buy them, so it's gradual.
Oh, I see.
So any money you make, you go to either upgrading food, upgrading equipment. The game's pretty self-explanatory, and I do find it incredibly gratifying to watch. And at the end of the day, when I've done it perfectly, I feel really good.
Oh, that's good.
You know?
Yeah. It's like organizing. Like, it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Kind of the same
like
thing.
I did it, you know? And there are some things I didn't know about this game. I didn't know while you were preparing food, you could click the button to give people their food, so you can serve while you're preparing a meal. I wish I figured that out, because it made doing it perfectly all the more harder. And the big trick with this game is there's no undo button.
Oh.
So let's pretend I gave this guy sea salt. I can't take it out. I fail. And that's where the real challenge comes in.
Can they refuse their food?
Yeah, but I think they just think it's gross and you don't get paid for it.
Oh, okay.
And then you get negative buzz.
Oh.
So right now I'm only at 36. I don't really like to mess around with the buzz too much. If you micromanage what sorts of foods you have on your menu, you can get a better buzz. But it just immediately doesn't interest me. So tomato sauce, cheese, pepperoni, and I guess that was olives or whatever. So some things have 2 pages of ingredients, some things you can upgrade. You can see how amazing this game is.
Do you pick the people?
Nah,
random?
They're random.
Oh, rodents.
Yeah, you gotta set that.
Oh, you gotta there's your party.
Say what I'm saying, but by the end of this video, they only do 2 balloons. They get cheaper and cheaper. But you get $250 extra if you do a perfect day. In my mind, the optimal way to play this game is to get perfect days.
I can understand that.
So I originally played this with my family. And they loved it so much. And when I'm playing with people, I like to give them little phrases. So you can make drinks for people. And one of the things you can do is if you upgrade your drinks, you can give people flavor blasts.
Oh, really?
In their drink, yeah. And somebody wanted a jumbo, and then if you upgrade it again or something, you get jumbo sizes. So somebody wanted a jumbo sized with ice, cola, with flavor shot. And I went, somebody's living dangerously. And for the rest of the game, the kids were like, I know who's living dangerously. And it just became this little game.
That's so funny.
This is just going to be one of those videos where I hope there will be gratifying visuals you can chill out with. I think it's nice knowing somebody's doing a game perfectly. I think it is kind of comforting. Everything's going to turn out okay. I know what I'm doing. It's kind of a minor sense of comfort.
I get that.
You know what's going to happen. You know somebody has control over the situation, and I'm hoping that'll be gratifying to watch.
Right.
As well as giving us a chance, like you wanted, to talk about whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just going to be showing stuff on the screen. It's all self-explanatory. And if it's not, feel free to tell me. In this menu, I'm trying out foods. So right now I'm going to try out soup, which is one of the toughest things to make in the game. As you can see, all these locked things, every time I upgrade it, I'm going to want to unlock stuff, which will make it harder and harder. So your 2-star restaurant is going to be really hard by the time it's a 5-star restaurant.
Right.
But it's really gratifying to see that upgrade, just like people who watch house shows. You know, you want to upgrade yourself and be a better person, either vicariously through your house shows or your property or your games.
Are you talking about my house shows?
No, I've always thought that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. Well, just like, you know, with the singing, everybody has a voice, and everybody thinks they sing good by themselves, but everybody's too shy to sing with somebody else. So they just continually think they're either A, bad singers, or B, when I sing by myself, I sing that one song pretty good.
Yeah.
And then when they see somebody sing, you know, blah, blah. So I thought of things to talk about, and if you hear any fun additional noises in the background, there is a storm going on and some sort of late night construction that doesn't even seem to be happening within a half-mile radius that will 100% be picked up on this microphone. So, do you have anything you wanted to talk about, or did you just want to have another chill episode?
No, it's just you've been talking about this for a while, so.
It's a really fun game.
Yeah, it seems it. And it seems like there's not a lot of pressure. There is, but there isn't. It's not like, you know, it seems fairly basic.
Yeah, I get you. And depending on what foods you pick the difficulty. So that also helps.
Right.
Like, let's say you're not sure of yourself. You could just be like, it's corn dogs and french fries for the menu.
Right.
But because, you know, and if you want, you can challenge yourself more. I don't know why I was letting that tick down. Whatever. So, I've been watching cartoons a lot, as I do a lot this time of year. And I try out cartoons sometimes, but most of the time the new ones don't live up to it. They don't live up to the hype or whatever. And one show that I was really drawn to was called Star versus the Forces of Evil. And it is not a kid's show whatsoever. It's on Disney Channel, so I didn't know what I was going to get into. And me and you couldn't get into Gravity Falls. Maybe we didn't give it a fair enough shot.
Maybe not.
But I don't know. You know, because I felt the same way with this show. Yeah. I saw the first episode, and they were trying so hard. And in the first episode, Star Butterfly seems like the most annoying person in the world. But by the second, or the third or second or whatever, you absolutely dig the show and her. But the first, they're broken up into two parts, so 15 minutes each about, you know. The first episode's pretty brutal in my opinion because she's just so in your face. The second episode, like, it's so weird. There's so many adult themes here. I could go on for a really long time. I mean, in one episode, what's the thing that really bothered me when I first saw it was who's it geared for, because it's on Disney Channel XD. I thought XD was for like little tweens or whatever. But then I looked on their website and it's for 6 to 14-year-olds, which is the stupidest age range I've ever heard of.
I know.
I don't know what pair of suits. Like, how could you fathom a 6 and a 14-year-old being interested in the same show?
I know.
You can't.
No.
You can't do that. I would even be cool if it was just 14-year-olds. I'd loosen up. But the fact that they think it's for 6-year-old to like even 11,
yeah,
is ridiculous. There's talk about angry boyfriends. Like, she gets back together with somebody that she knows is bad. He has anger issues. He's a bad guy, but he seems dangerous and cool. Now, as an adult, I can appreciate that. But as a little kid, I don't think you're going to get everything that's going on. And I'm well aware that all shows do this.
Yeah.
But the frequency of this show
yeah.
is just a little out of control. I adore it, and I think I'm absurdly enjoying it right now. Like, oh my god, this show is amazing. But I just can't get over who their audience is.
That's really weird.
Because if this was a grown-up show, I would think it was awesome.
Right.
But I mean, one episode, the parents are naked and in a jacuzzi or whatever, and they invite the other parent of another child inside the hot tub. You wanna come in? I think that passes the all parents are weird sort of border. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is.
That's not just his parents are kooky. Another episode, and they're giggling, they're flirty giggling the entire time. Okay, I don't think the punchline of they might be swingers is gonna get, okay, maybe I imposed that because you're wide-eyed look, but come on, if people are naked in a tub and then they invite somebody else in, what do you think?
Being friendly.
Yeah, right. I know you so don't think that. Nice try. Let me see. What other things? I'm looking through all the episodes. Another one was just, oh gosh. I've got my, oh my gosh, the time she gets puberty, she starts getting little, magical pimples all over herself. And then says this is gonna get weird. You better keep me away from boys and stuff like that. And it's really hard to interpret that as anything else other than, it goes a little past boy crazy. She's like, keep me away from boys, this is gonna get weird. And then her eyes become dilated anytime she sees any boy, and she just wants to, there's no way to sugarcoat that.
Well, I mean, girls do get boy crazy. It's like they just get,
yeah. I just didn't see it as innocent as you're saying it.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I'm just...
Plus, they're always talking about how Star likes the bad boys and stuff. Which, again, isn't a very good lesson.
No, not for that age range either.
Especially, and what's weird is it's the channel is a, quote, hyper-targeting boys.
What? That's funny.
Yeah, so I guess they're going for the fact that they have crushes on girls. So Star Butterfly would be a good, main character-ish. Right. But it just makes no sense. Anyway, so she's going through puberty, and she locks herself in the locker, but anytime she sees a guy, she breaks out and stuff, which I think symbolizes something, like, hormones or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't take it as all innocent as the game was saying, or the show. At one point, the swim team comes out. They're all big, beefy dudes, and they all turn their butts towards her and said, "Let's do squats now." And she just, the locker basically explodes in pimples, and her eyes become dilated, and she just can't handle it. She was checking out all of their butts and getting, feelings. How in the world do you put that on Disney XD? right? Explain that one to me. Make that one seem all friendly.
I didn't.
Try that one. Or the fact that in one episode they're having trouble with cell phone carrier, and they go to a magical cell phone carrier place to settle the bill. How is that a kid's thing?
Or, well, then again, kids have cell phones.
By 14, are they really worrying about the bill?
Oh, no.
No. I don't think they'd get the humor.
Yeah.
That there is a world where a world of, bitchy cell phone carrier people. And if they get you, they make you work in the mine. Mm-hmm. And then there's another joke in that one. Somebody gets the black lung. It's called pixie lung. Yeah, he starts puking, and they go, you better get your friend out soon. He's got pixie lung. That's hilarious for an adult. But for, there's mature jokes in all things.
Right.
But come on, this is just an adult show. Stop it. I mean, the prom one is the most inexcusable. Right. With the whole fact that he's trying to seduce her and pretend that he's someone he's not. That's the episode. And the fact that her best friend tries to be like, no, he's lying. And she doesn't believe him and goes, and it hurts their friendship.
Does she learn at the end?
No, she yells at him and says, you need to let me make my mistakes. And he says sorry to her.
Oh my God.
That's the moral.
Oh, that's not good.
To make your own mistakes and to go after who you think is right.
It wouldn't be bad if there was a message at the end.
It wouldn't be. But the message was that the guy was crazy and she should have made the mistake and she should have gotten back together with him. By the way, she's 14 and has an ex-boyfriend. I think that's a little crazy.
Will you serve beer?
Glad that's what you're getting from this. Or the episode where they freeze time. I mean, that's not too bad, I guess. Oh, and then this magical father comes and he burns down a place because he thinks this relative or this person, this evil dude he knows back in his hometown, he says, take this for making googly eyes at my wife. And he shoots a fire ray at this place where he thinks he lives and lights everything on fire.
Oh my God.
How, I mean, if that was an adult show, forget about it. So, and then the entire point, one of the overarching themes of this, or plots, I guess, is she doesn't want to get sent to a reform school for bad children.
What?
That's how the show is introduced, is Star has to go to Earth because they think she's a bad, like a rebel, and she's not listening at all. And because they don't want to send her to St. Olga's Reform School for Wayward Princesses, which they describe as prison, and they show girls screaming and being dragged into it. Oh my
God, that's so much.
She doesn't want to go there. She's so scared of it because they ruin, personality and independence and all of this stuff that she is. But in the second episode, or the, first episode, but the second part, she's got a best friend that's like super bad and does all this stuff, and they're always talking about partying and all of this stuff, and I just don't understand because they're all supposed to be 14
that's a little
and stuff.
Strange.
But they're all talking about partying, getting crazy, and
oh my God.
Yeah, and dating everybody. It's just not what you'd expect from your Disney XD show.
No, definitely.
But for an adult, it's amazing.
I like your menu, by the way.
Thanks.
I like it. It's upgraded a little.
Yeah. By the third episode, I was absolutely in love with it, I think. Let me see. It really grows on you. But then I saw this Magic Wand episode, and that episode was pretty terrible. But there was always going to be duds.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was another thing where I'm not going to remember that one. There's just some really weird stuff in this show that's not meant for children.
Mm-hmm.
In the Independence Day episode, there's they basically talk about how the monsters were unlawfully driven out of their place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, some other peoples who drove out other peoples from their homeland. That's essentially what the episode's about. Is the real knights in shining armor who fought off the heroes really just drove them out of their home, and that the monsters that are fighting Star have a point, which is just, I mean, that's an interesting point, but it's a little. I guess I could do that for 12 to 14 and stuff, but
yeah, not for 6-year-olds.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. That show is awesome, though. Yeah, I showed you. I showed you that part.
Did. Yeah.
The part where the booty shake.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh
I was like, come on. Okay.
I do remember that.
Isn't that going a little overboard?
Yeah, a little bit.
12-year-olds that they'll distract, 14-year-olds that they're gonna distract the opposing team by shaking their booties. How else can I interpret that? Right? That's as bad as my relative, who's only 6, was 6 at the time, telling me, he says this when we're playing a game. He goes, I don't know what the problem is. I just keep looking at her butt. I can't take my eyes off it. He's like 6, and he just goes, look at it. What are we doing here, me and you? What are we doing? We just keep looking at her butt. I don't know why. And he was just 100% genuine and like 100% confused, like just being like, what? Like, matter of fact, like, what are we doing? I just love it. Like, I couldn't smile. I couldn't do anything. I just stared at the screen and just wondered how to deal with this. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good with any situation that comes my way.
Yeah.
But what the hell do you do with that? A 6-year-old. You don't go, yep. You don't tell him no. You don't. What do you do?
I probably would have laughed hysterically.
I couldn't have it. Couldn't have it at all.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Did I do the? There's an extra event where you can cater. It's called.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I did it. I don't.
No.
I had trouble recording that one. I was supposed to do one where you serve fries and other fried stuff.
But, you have fried chicken.
Yeah, there's like an extra mode where you can get extra money by doing catering services, and it's pretty fun. It's like a bite-sized thing in the game, and you don't even get credit if you do it perfectly. But I still do it perfectly.
Okay.
Like, they don't even care if you do it perfectly, though, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. What's this?
I'm just taking this dude's bet. There's this guy. Apparently he's an alien. I didn't notice that. Everybody else is a human in this, so.
Thought he was a bug.
Yeah, I thought the joke of Crazy Dave was a Plants vs. Zombies reference.
Oh.
Because Crazy Dave's the guy who sells you stuff in that.
Oh.
I thought, but now I don't know why he's a alien. Who knows? So, did I ever tell you that story of college where I took the potato class or whatever?
I think you did.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember it, so tell me again.
Alright, well, I was in this one class, an empathy thing that they were trying out. And, an ethics sort of class, I think.
Okay.
And you know how universities sometimes try stuff out to see how it'll go.
Right.
And if other people should take it if it was terrible. Well, this was a god-awful class that made you just do essays all the time about, I honestly missed like this was one of those classes you had to attend to get the A. And I somehow missed like 5 of them in a row.
Somehow.
Well, I don't even know what I was supposed to be doing when I was in there. I just sat and stared. But anyway, one day I finally show up to this god-awful class. And she puts a potato on everybody's desk. A shriveled, weird-looking dollar potato, 99-cent potato you can get from the store. And she tells everybody, now this class was at like 5 in the morning.
Oh my God.
5:30 or something disgusting like that.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, because that's one of the main reasons why this guy didn't show up. You gotta be kidding me. My next class after that was at 3. Not happening. Especially since it was such a waste. But not that I encourage that, I guess. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
She gives us all a potato, and then she says, you're going to identify with your potato. If you notice, none of them are perfect. All of them have flaws. Like, oh my God. And she says, but that's everybody. Everybody has that problem, and everybody needs to figure out how to live like that. Now, can you care for your potato? And I'm going to give you a little time to think what you can say, but I'd like you to stand at the front of the class and talk about your potato.
Oh my God.
And how it can feel and what it can still do and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
So,
how awkward.
You never know what you get with Morning Joe. Some days I won't say a word, and I'll give you the evilest, most mean look for breathing at me, because it's the morning. And some mornings I'm feeling Randy.
Randy.
I think that means horny.
I think so too.
Okay, absolutely not.
You and your potato.
I'm Irish, but I'm not that Irish. But I was feeling. We gotta think about it.
Stupid joke.
Go for it.
What's an Irishman's 7-course meal?
What?
A 6-pack and a potato.
That's pretty good.
Okay, go on.
Nice.
Well, you were talking about potato.
Yeah, I like it. So, so it was one of those days where I was feeling just, diggif. There we go.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite words when I was in high school. That was the best. But I couldn't have cared less. And I raised my hand immediately and I said, I don't need any time. I know what I would say, and I know what he would say right now. And now this is the first time I opened my mouth in that class. So everybody's like, whoa, who is this guy? Because I didn't look at anybody. I didn't talk to anybody. Nobody talked. There was one annoying girl who kissed the teacher's butt. Or I'm sorry, professor, because God forbid you call him teacher.
Yeah, don't do that.
There was just one girl who would just constantly sit right next to her desk and drink her coffee and just chit-chat, and it was terrible. And she was even like, I can't use my vivid language to describe in this sort of video. So, don't, whatever. But everybody's wondering what the hell is with this Irish dude and this potato, like what got into me. So she goes, oh, if you're ready right now, are you sure you don't need any time? And I said, I don't need a second. I'm ready for this right now. So I stood up, and I just couldn't care less. And I said, my potato's a fighter. And if you look into his eyes, you would see somebody who's seen a lot. And so the teacher pipes in because I think she realizes I was making a mockery of this by now. And she goes, and I continue and I go, he's seen a lot, he's lost a lot, but he keeps trucking along. And I think I started miming it, moving on the table. And it's at this time that the professor goes like, oh, so they're a survivor. And I said, no, they're a winner too. I pointed her down, and I just said, like, I think I like said, absolutely not. And she goes, oh. And I said, he's been on top, he's fallen, and he's climbing back up. And then I started miming I was walking back and forth now.
Oh, God.
In front of my class. And I mimed on the girl's coffee cup of him climbing back to the top and then jumping for joy when he gets there. Yeah, it was pretty great. I knew I was never seeing these people again, and I couldn't have cared less.
Apparently.
Yeah. And I continued talking for 3 minutes straight about the strength of my potato. And how when he needs a friend and when I need a friend, like, it got bad, right? But the teacher even went, all right. And I said, one more thing. Like, I just wasn't stopping. And then I start clapping for myself and my potato. And I encourage the class to clap for my potato as well. And then I said, he'll have a seat, and I'll be right behind him, just like it should be. And then I sit down, and by that time, you know, the adrenaline's flowing, because we just acted like a gigantic asshole in front of dozens or probably at least 100 people. It was an auditorium.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't know boundaries.
No, I
had none. It was one of those theater sort of auditoriums where people are not like auditorium, I guess isn't the right word, but like, you know, the theater-sized rooms where they fit at least 100 people.
Yeah.
There were 100 just, or you know, maybe 75 that showed up or whatever, you know. But just staring at me, just going like, what in the world was that about? Because on the one hand it was amazing, but on the other hand nobody knew me, so they didn't know if it was a joke. They didn't know if I was lazy and just had a hard-on for potatoes.
Did they clap for you?
Everybody clapped, but it was pretty much awkward because I yelled at them to clap. Even the teacher didn't know what to do. She goes, well, all right then. That was a good warm-up. Can anybody follow? Does anybody want to follow that up? And absolutely nobody did. And she had to force other people to come up after.
And what they talk about?
This is my potato, and that's what everybody else's was like. Just literally everybody else was just a poor jackass had to talk about a potato in front of everybody. What kind of class was this? I had to write essays every week, or, you know, every day, or I think 3 times a week or something. It was terrible. About what? What did I learn from that? I spent money to talk about a potato in front of 100 people. It was a terrible university. It's terrible. I used to eat Chick-fil-A there all the time.
Oh, did you?
I got waffle fries.
Oh, wow.
And a disgusting chicken sandwich with a ton of ranch.
Oh my God.
And I knew nobody in a university of, like, you know, one of the biggest universities in the country. And I knew nobody. It was terrible. But
you had a potato.
Yeah, that's so damn good. That was so good. I love that. But after I acted like a jackass in enough classes, I met new people and stuff. And, you know, everything kind of worked out. Like, there's a whole other story I could tell, but I'm amazed I haven't told. You know, my improv story, remember? In that kindergarten class?
Yeah.
where we had to act like kindergartners in front of everybody. Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Anybody listening, like, what the hell degree was he taking? Oh, a teacher, naturally. Because that's what you think of when you hear caring for potatoes. So, anything you want to talk about or any stories?
No, I was interested listening to you. You had a lot to say. And that's funny, like you would never eat like that now, huh?
Oh God, no.
I know.
Yeah, I was just a round, angry, bored college student. Yeah. Yeah, but lots of people liked me. Yeah, one person said I was so funny. They're like, you, the only other person that's ever made me laugh was like you was Zach Galifianakis in his movies. And I said, that is the meanest and worst thing anybody has ever said to me. I just didn't give any shits about anybody or anything. And they went, I didn't mean it like that whatsoever. I'm so sorry. And I just shook my head and left. I'm not kidding. That's how I ended that. But then they loved me even more because that was such a Zach Galifianakis way to deal with that situation.
Maybe that's the secret.
Just don't give any shits.
Well, about people, but like about what people think. I think we worry too much about what people think.
Yeah.
We're always holding back. Like, wouldn't it be fun just to say and do it if you feel like break out in song and dance?
I think there was a Star vs. the Forces of Evil episode about how you shouldn't do that.
Oh, how you shouldn't do that?
Yeah, I think you need to watch that. Because a crochet monster might kill you all.
Oh God, not that.
That was the moral of that one.
Where were your balloons? There were none.
See what I'm saying? Those cheap fucks.
You got none.
See, I got a perfect day and they don't even give a shit anymore.
Just taking after you.
You're quite clever. You're like my
I know.
my little wing girlfriend tonight. So this is all your email messages, and you get informed. Some of it's spam, and some of it's meant to be funny.
Watermelon buttocks.
Yeah, because it's just making fun of the news. Because a man reunites with his daughter lost for over 20 years, while breaking the record for watermelon buttocks smashing.
Oh, okay.
It's just supposed to amuse you, and probably make fun of the news and or spam.
Yeah. I gotcha.
But yeah, pretty fantastic game.
Well, I'm glad I finally saw it because you've been talking about it.
Yeah. So any thoughts on it or any questions?
It was cute. I don't like the toilet. It really bothered me.
Wow.
Like I would have rather seen a mop and a bucket. Wouldn't that have been like much more interesting?
Yeah.
It's just gross. You're serving food and then this big ugly toilet. It just was making me sick.
Wow, really?
I know, yeah.
Wow.
But that aside,
I didn't know you had that much of an aversion.
I do. Well, when I was little, no, I had such an like it had to be like sterile, and so I'd be like, 3 and 4, 5 years old, and we'd be out. So my mother would find a bathroom and it wouldn't meet my approval. So she had to go from bathroom to bathroom to bathroom until I was like, okay, that's all right.
That's awesome.
But otherwise no, it's cute. I like it. And I can see how you could like really relax playing it because you're trying to fill the orders and do everything. And yet I don't feel like it's stressful. Like I feel like it's kind of like, keeps you busy but not stressful.
Yeah, it's just gratifying.
Yeah. It's funny how these kind of completing tasks can be satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing something right that doesn't hold a lot of weight. Sometimes even playing what's it called, Crash Bandicoot. dying is a very harsh way of failing the day, you know? And the harshest thing that I'll see in this video game is frowny faces if you ever get a bad order.
Oh.
Which I don't even get a bad order. It goes smiley face and then average face, which is just like a straight line.
Average face. That's my face.
Yeah.
I have average face.
What? Doesn't even make sense.
It does. I just feel like I'm unsmiley today. I have average face.
You weirdo. Yeah, is there any cartoons that you've watched recently?
Not really. And I don't know. Kind of silly.
What?
I think the last thing I watched was probably Wonder Beds.
What's that?
Oh
my god, you watched that?
Yeah, it's just by accident, and then you find yourself like, why am I still watching this?
God damn
it. I don't know, I can't think of anything. Well, SpongeBob, who doesn't watch that?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know, that's about it.
You like SpongeBob?
Not especially.
I used to like it when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it the old episodes that were good, or because I felt, sometimes they do that with new episodes, they don't live up to it,
Yeah,
is that the case?
I suppose they're the new ones, yeah. There's some really cool retro ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember liking the retro ones.
Like Flintstones and the Jetsons.
Yeah. But want to know what show I was thinking of recently?
What?
Rugrats.
Oh, yeah, I did like that. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, me neither. And Rocko's Modern Life. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, I don't know if I really got into it.
I could never get into it.
No. What's the one with the fairy
kid.
godmother? It's slightly annoying, but I still
Fairly
like it.
Odd Parents.
I like that.
That one, I love that one.
It's a little annoying sometimes, but I generally really like it.
I think that's the general feeling.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with a lot of these shows is if you give it a chance, just like a kid, that's not your own. They're really annoying at first. But if you give them a try and give them another try, eventually you kind of like them. Just like a kid. That's not your own,
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, you can fumble around with this buzz thing and see, what's positive buzz and what's negative buzz. But immediately when I start doing that, I just get bored to tears. So I don't really bother with it. And making the fish part is so much fun. You can just hit the, left arrow, down arrow, and right arrow, and bam. Sopapillas, I believe.
Oh, what is that?
I think they're, now you're testing me.
Yeah.
But I think they're an Indian thing. I thought they were just fried dough.
Oh.
But I could be completely wrong. Delicious sopapillas. Yeah, they're just fried dough with sugar on top. I think you can have them at fairs.
Okay, yeah, they also sell them at this place. They call them dough babies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's definitely not the Indian name.
I'm pretty sure too.
But you get more business on rainy days, and you can see how calming this would be. The music is a little bit not anxious. It can give you a little bit of anxiety.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, but you just put it on mute.
Oh, okay.
Or you put it low, and then it's not too bad.
Yeah, because if the music was really like pushing you along, it would be stressful.
It does say beep 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 and stuff. And
oh yeah.
If orders are going.
Puts the pressure on you.
Yeah, but it's all for those two balloons at the end. And that should be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching this with me.
Well, thank you for showing me.
You were a joy to talk to. Good night.
Good night.